This is the Entrepreneur Unleashed Show, Episode 9, with Jess Maguire.
The Entrepreneur Unleashed. The Entrepreneur Unleashed. The Entrepreneurs Unleashed. The podcast where purpose and passion become revenue streams. Be real. Take a stand. Change lives. Here's your host, Patty Keating.
Welcome to the Entrepreneur Unleashed Show. I'm your host, Patty Keating. Entrepreneurs everywhere are creating a new breed of business success. They're making their own rules, taking a stand for their purpose, leading through integrity, and making money by changing lives. Join me each week for compelling messages that will inspire and empower you to unleash your true purpose. I am so excited to bring you today's guest. Jess Maguire is fitness trainer. I'll have her tell you exactly what she is, but what she does, I know, is she helps women lose weight. And one of the secrets behind what she's really up to is that she works on their self-worth, their self-confidence. She helps them with emotional eating and makes sure that they are practicing good self-care. And she has this amazing business. I'm so excited she's here. She's a kick in the pants, plus she's a smart, savvy business owner, and I can't wait to share her story with you. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Patty.
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. I'm really good.
It's good to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for asking me to be on your podcast. I love listening to them, so I feel very honored to be invited to speak on one.
Of course. Of course. So let's just dive right in. Tell us a little bit about your business. I didn't know what to call you. I didn't know if you were a trainer or because I know you're so much more than just a weight loss expert, but just tell us a little bit about, what you're up to over there.
Sure. So my actual certification is I'm a physiotherapist, which I know you guys in the States call it a physical therapist, but I also studied a lot in exercise science and started up my own physical therapy practice. And then, now I've gone into, over the last 12 months, I've been working specifically on weight loss, mostly because I saw that a lot of the patients that came to me when I was working one-to-one as a physiotherapist were overweight, were weak, had bad posture, their joints had wear and tear, and I realised that my true passion was preventing these people coming to me as patients and helping them get into great shape and take care of themselves.
Okay, and so do you have a studio? Is it like a training facility? What's the location like?
Yep, I do. So I have I have a studio. It's nice and small just because I like working with, small groups. And it doesn't have a huge amount of equipment like your typical commercial gym. A lot of what I do is with free weights. And most of the women that I work with, like 95%, actually can do everything from home anyway with just free weights and fit balls and bands and a step. So it's really getting them to be as independent as they can so they don't feel they need to keep coming and seeing me.
I see. Okay. So what inspired you to start this business?
I guess after, as I said, treating patients for one-to-one, it can be quite repetitive in the same patterns that you see with your patients who come in and say, I've just got this lower back pain, and you're thinking, maybe a little bit of strength, a little bit of weight loss, you might not have that back pain. So I was really looking at the big picture and the holistic picture of my patients rather than just looking at, this is the area they're coming in to get sorted, looking at the big picture of why they're getting sore in the first place. So that started it off. I worked as a Pilates instructor for a long time as well, and I initially incorporated that into my physiotherapy practice. But what I found was when women train, they want to improve their core like Pilates, they want to improve their posture like Pilates, but they also primarily want weight loss. And Pilates doesn't really provide that. So I felt that I was doing a disservice by not going into harder training for them. And also a lot of women just came to me. It was really weird. Like before I started doing primarily weight loss, a lot of women came to me and asked for help losing weight. That was where my real passion was. So as I said, although I like the one-to-one, you're only helping a small community of people, is where I feel now that I can help many women anywhere well, I only work in Australia at the moment, but anywhere in this country. So it's very great.
So how long have you had your business?
I've been doing primarily the weight loss for the last 12 months, and I still have the physio practice running. I mentor a few personal trainers, and that's been open for 3 years now.
Okay. So what obstacles showed up for you on your path in launching your business? And, now you have this, sounds like you fine-tuned what you're going to do. And along the way, what kind of obstacles did you bump into?
I would say all of the obstacles came from my beliefs around what I could and couldn't do. So number one was probably, wanting to always look really professional and not be me, because I was, trained in a science background, and, when I was working one-to-one, that was really professional. And then moving into things like marketing and videos and interacting with people on Facebook, it was all about being authentic. So for me, that's been something that I've worked on, and I feel now that I can be myself, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But a big part of that has been letting go of my identity as a physiotherapist and just realizing that I've trained as a physiotherapist, but that's not actually what I do now, even though I use that skill set to help people lose weight. So that was probably the biggest obstacle, and also my limiting beliefs around what I could charge. I guess I really felt, why would people pay X amount of dollars to work with me for a few months when they could go and hire a personal trainer? So I had those limiting beliefs and thinking that what I was charging didn't have enough value. So I guess that's all, well, no, it has all been something that I've overcome.
That's awesome. Owning a business is the biggest personal development journey you could ever sign up for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It challenges everything. You could go and be an employee and not have to.
But you wouldn't get this side benefit. You have to grow when you are a business owner. You have to move through challenges that you might otherwise just avoid.
Absolutely. And playing it safe just doesn't happen, because your business will not make any money if you want to play safe.
What I love about what you're sharing is how you have taken your experience and brought it into the platform you're creating for your business. So it's not, I'm a physiotherapist. It's, I'm Jess Maguire, and these are the modalities I use. And, I can create the transformation you want based on all of me that I'm bringing to the table. I love that.
Yeah, integrating that so it made sense to me was a challenge, because I thought that value came, like the mule work where you were paid to do an appointment or you're paid to train somebody at a session. But it's really not, because, we know it's about the results. So having those skill sets helps me to get better results, and those shifts in mindset can just totally change your business, don't they?
They sure do. What do you think the biggest lessons you've learned so far from your business have been?
I guess not assuming what people will pay. Looking in the family, which I'm lucky to be in with you, Patty, a lot of the people there that are really successful making money out of spirituality type programs or, personal growth as well. And I assumed that really the only way you could make good money was selling business to business, so mentoring, consulting, that kind of thing for business. So the biggest lesson has been, not assuming what people will and won't pay money for, definitely, but also knowing my own self-worth. When that self-worth of my own was low and I was struggling, then you'd see that, you're like my business, that was the hardest times. But when I was feeling good and feeling confident in what I was doing, then I would have the most successful time. So it definitely came down to my own self-worth.
Yeah, and it's beautiful that that's also what you're now teaching to these women, right?
I know, it's so ironic. And lots of people have said to me, you teach what you need to learn most.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's great.
So tell me what you're passionate about right now.
Well, right now, in terms of my business, it's really exciting because I've moved into making really great videos for lead gen and also content delivery. And I felt that with my increase in self-worth, it's been a lot more fun in being myself. and making my message be not just information, and really, being quite assertive in my videos. So I'm really excited about those because they're coming along well. And I guess the main passion that I've got from a business sense of view is just watching the women that I'm working with, each new group that comes on, are getting better and better results. So I'm feeling really excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see those videos. I've had the good fortune of spending some time with you, and I know what a firecracker you are. So much personality. Oh my gosh. So I can't wait to see those.
I will be showing you. At first it was really funny. I was so serious in them and I just looked, like this really boring person reading them, and I watched them back and I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. I would fall asleep watching this. So that's when I decided, I've got to just be me, because I am, and the person helping me out, he just kept saying, come on, Jess, high energy. You're high energy. I was like, but I'm scared. So they're really fun.
It's like me with my podcast. I was trying to be all formal at first and edit my own, and I would edit out every little thing and spend hours. And finally, I just outsourced it all. And when I'm done with a session, I send it off and they take it from there. And now awesome. I've just lightened up because people like it that way. We don't need to be perfect. We need to be real.
Absolutely. And that's what I know this is covering another question. I guess when you go in and think you want to be liked by everybody when you're doing your marketing, it just, there's enough bland people out there. So I just went, you know what, I'm going to have haters, and that's fine. That's cool. So
if you don't have haters, it means you're not really going to be seen by the ones that really love you, right?
Absolutely. You haven't got it made till you've got at least a few haters.
So what's your vision, Jess, for the next 5 years?
Well, the next 5 years, so I want to move out of working in my practice so that frees me up completely to focus on the online stuff. So I mentor some other personal trainers which I really love mentoring them, and that will give them the opportunity to then take over the classes or running the business. So that will free me up that way. I'd really love to keep growing in the number of women that I can reach through my videos. So I know it's lead gen, but also I get a lot of feedback from women telling me how it helped to change their mindset as well. So also reaching a wider audience. And then, of course, in growing my business, taking on more and more women. So, a lot of the women I've been working with are yo-yo dieters. They lose 5 kilos, they put it back on, they put it back on. So really taking on bigger and bigger groups of that and getting my message out there, because I feel that it saves women from a lot of pain associated with deprivation and then going back to binge eating, which is a really common pattern that I see. So, I'd like to really quadruple the size of my business in the next 5 years, if not earlier.
And it sounds like we might be seeing some video series products from you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've been going into, although I'm primarily working on weight loss, I've been touching on a few other things that are relevant to women, especially women's fitness and health, such as the pelvic floor and tuning into your core specifically. So a few things like that, because although I don't want to do just information products, I think it can be nice to have a few different streams of programs that you're working on.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to watch.
Yes, thank you.
So, Jess, what's the best advice you ever received?
It was actually only recently, and it came after a period of having to take about 3 months off work, and I was getting to be a bit of a martyr and a bit of a wet blanket by this stage, and feeling sorry for myself because I think I said to this person, I feel like the universe is conspiring against me. I just can't seem to be able to work. There was a series of events. And this person said to me, you have a choice and you always have a choice. So for me, that was really empowering, although it sounds really simple. When it comes to getting stuck in your business or life or anything like that, piece of advice has really stayed with me, because it gave me back my power to make all the decisions that I wanted to and to stop basically playing a victim when things were going wrong. And I use that advice a lot with the women that I work with, especially those women who might go down that same path and say, you know, I'm so busy, I just don't have time. I've got to do this and I've got to do that. So again, you saying, you know, same thing to them, you know, you've always got a choice. And I think that for women who are particularly busy, when we do that, you know, it gives us our power back instead of making excuses, which is really what, you know, we want to bust through with women who we're trying to help lose weight.
So what personal growth have you experienced as a result of growing your business?
So much. So much. Primarily, I guess there's been two things. First of all would be to not worry about what other people think. I had a big fear about I can remember being scared about putting my Facebook page up, my fan page, because I was scared of what people were going to say. That was, you know, 12 months ago. And now to think, you know, that it's putting videos up, and I still get a little bit nervous about what other people think, but I don't think it in any way inhibits me from being myself. So I think for anybody who's in their own business, that especially as entrepreneurs, it's really important that you can be you, because one day you're going to meet your clients, and if you've put on a front to be somebody else that you're not, and then they meet you, it's going to be very strange when they think that you've been out of integrity with who you're saying you are and then who you're showing up as. So for me, the main thing is giving myself permission to be me, and that's okay. And then the second one was looking at limiting beliefs and why they were there. So I know when I was looking back as to why this is only a few months ago, I had an association that you had to work hard to make a lot of money. And so looking back at growing up, I grew up on a farm, a dairy farm, and when you are on a dairy farm, everybody works a lot, and you're not actually controlling the money that you're making each paycheck, because it comes from somebody else who predicts that based on the price of milk at the time. So long story short, my limiting beliefs that you had to work hard to make money, that was seeing me always in a state of either anxiety or nervousness, or, you know, you've got to do more, you haven't done enough. So I was really in a negative frame of mind, and I think that was what I was putting out to the world. So I had a lot of complications in my business, but since letting go of that and saying that, no, money doesn't, you know, you don't have to work super hard to make money. You do have to work, but it's not, you know, it can be inspired work and what you're passionate about. And also that being in that state of fear and nervousness and anxiety was just leading me to exhaustion, and I wasn't putting out my best work. So once I chilled out, basically, things got so much easier.
I love that. The key to success is to chill out.
Hell yeah, definitely. Glass of wine on the beach and, you know, just happy days.
That's awesome, though. You know, I've heard that from other entrepreneurs. Moving through those limiting beliefs is one of the keys. Absolutely,
absolutely. And, you know, you see that your language changes that you use with yourself once you do address those limiting beliefs. And I really think it shapes the choices that you make and therefore the future of your business. But, you know, if you're running around on playing a record in your head from being a kid that you're probably not even aware of, it can really leave you being stuck. And that's why I think, you know, the best advice or what has given me the most personal growth has been the people that I've invested in to help me progress both professionally and personally.
Yes. That's a good point too. You know, we grow regardless, but we grow faster and smarter when we have mentors. And when we really invest in ourselves, we can't help but value ourselves, right?
Absolutely. And I think sometimes just being around people that are achieving what you've said in your head is impossible is enough. I mean, I don't know, like where I live, it's a small town, well, in Tasmania, it's a small town that I live in here of only 8,000 people, and there's not any entrepreneurs doing internet marketing. So I think just being around in the presence of those people, you automatically grow as well.
Absolutely. You have to, because, when you're around your peers, you become like them. What's the saying? You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Absolutely. And you get to play really cool, fun games like Heads Up.
Jess and I are in a mastermind group together, and let's just say that we have a lot of fun. So tools and resources, what gadgets do you use, or tools, Jess, to make your life easier?
I was about to say Heads Up, but no.
Heads Up, for those of you listening, is this app that you can put on your smartphone. And many of you maybe know this, but for those of you who don't, it's a game you play. You have to put it on your forehead, the phone on your forehead facing out. And the people around you have to make you say the word that's on the phone. And we had quite the adventure playing Heads Up at our last retreat.
We so did.
So, other tools and gadgets besides smartphone games.
Okay, sure. So I use GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. Sorry, that's my dog growling in the background.
Okay.
Hey, boy. GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar for weekly check-ins with the ladies that I'm training. And so that's been great. And we can check if there's any issues going on there with their exercises and things like that. I don't use a lot of gadgets for myself to be organised. I like to be fairly simple, and I think, having the pleasure of Kevin Nations as our mentor and, simplify everything, I really like that. But in saying that, the video equipment that I use, I do like to make high-quality videos because I am going for women who want high-quality training and will invest in high quality. So I use a Canon EOS 7D, which has been a fantastic camera and really easy to work with, and the quality of it is fantastic. So that's what I use in terms of gadgets, but that's really about it that I can think of. I'll probably think of more as we move away, but yeah, that's really it.
High quality equipment to broadcast to your market.
Yeah, that's it. And I set up a studio from home, so I've got a mic that I wear on the top of my clothes, like on the top of a dress around the collar, and then the studio lights are set up. So I'm still playing around with that a little bit as to what looks the best. But yeah, I would like to set it up eventually so it looks a little bit like I'm talking to people from my lounge room, but adding bits and pieces of furniture there, but that's getting there.
And it's fun too.
It is. It is so much fun. I can't believe how much fun it is making these videos.
So what resources, like a book, a podcast, or a blog, could you recommend to the listeners?
Well, I guess it's more along the spiritual sense, but what changed a lot for me was reading The Game of Life and How to Play It.
I love that book.
So great. And it just clicked so many things into place for me. And I realized that, I know the law of attraction people think can be a little bit of BS. And in some ways, well, I think it is too, unless you actually take some inspired action. But when you are taking a lot of action, it brings a lot of awareness to what's showing up in your life and probably why. So I would definitely recommend that to anybody who is an entrepreneur, because what, you put out, it's coming so much from within you. And if from within you doesn't feel right, then you're probably going to really struggle to get back what you want. I know that in the times when I've really been challenged in my business, using that book or just referring back and having those affirmations has helped me to turn things around and realize, okay, I can start again, let go of what's happened over the last, whatever drama may be or, issue that you're struggling with, you can let that go and move on to start afresh, really. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that book if any of your listeners haven't read that.
Awesome. We'll put that in the show notes so they can check it out.
Cool.
So, Jess, looking back, if you were to do it all over again, what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to chill out, definitely. Although that sounds odd. I was such a perfectionist. I've got to have more information before I can do it perfectly. That was in both my physiotherapy practice and also when I started working with women online. And really, I've spent a lot of time stressing out probably until the last 12 months. So it's great to find that. I'm 29, so it's great to find that now. But I think, looking back at my younger self, I spent a lot of time stressing out about what possibly could go wrong. And now it's great because I don't have that fear anymore. So it's good. That's what I would tell my younger self. Yeah, chill out. Cocktails on the beach.
Chill out.
Yeah, definitely.
So where can people go to learn more about you?
Sure. So if you head on over to my website, it's all the W's, Miss Physio, MISSPHYSAO.com.au. That's my website. Or you can feel free to hit me up on Facebook. The fan page is just Miss Physio. And if you search for me under Jess Maguire, you will probably find me there as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll put that in the show notes too so people can contact you. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Entrepreneur Unleashed Show. If you did, please go to pattykeating.com and let me know what you're up to this year in your business. While you're there, be sure to grab your copy of 5 Quick Ways to Share Your Expertise.